every second Friday of the month. And tonight we are coming to discuss money in the marriage relationship. Money in the marriage relationship. Without wasting much time, I would like to introduce my guest here for tonight's program. I have with me here our own Mrs. Esther Achre-Manison, a professional counselor, a proud wife, and a mother here. You know her. She's been very helpful since we started the program. Mama, you are welcome. Thank you so much for coming. And I have with me here Mr. Frank Adam Adofoli, popularly known as a counselor. Adofoli is a renowned counselor, speaker, motivator, entrepreneur, and author with a remarkable effect on Facebook. He's also the founder and CEO of Share Your Worry, a community where people find real-time solutions to real-time issues. Daddy, you are most welcome, sir. And our own Mama Fia, Justice Fia Asariboche. She is a high court judge, a counselor, and a leader in this church. Mommy, you are welcome. Yeah, thank you so much for Thank you so much for coming tonight. We are so much grateful to you. And so we'll go straight to the point because we are behind time. Tonight, we want to know if keeping account together is very, very important in marriage, because nowadays marriage couples want to be independent when it comes to money issues. Everybody wants to keep his or her money. Want to know if it is important for couples to keep a joint account. And so, Mama Manison, you start for us.
Thank you, and good evening. I don't see anything wrong, though, in keeping joint account. But because we have various needs, because we all speak different financial languages, I think if we get individual accounts, separate account, it will help. We can agree on getting a joint account on the side. So I have my separate personal account, he has his, and we agree on a pool, like an account, to keep our common everyday bills money in. I mean, we agree on a different responsibility. You know, this percentage of your salary is taking care of fees. That percentage of his is taking care of home keep. So at the end of the month, I am putting this percentage of my salary in. He brings his, and we use it for that purpose. But when it comes to my personal stuff, I deal with it. The disadvantage in keeping the joint account generally is that because we have various needs, I may overdraw, and my needs to my partner may not be of that important, and his needs may also not be. So there will be unnecessary friction all the time. I mean, regarding our use of money. So if we want to curtail that unnecessary conflict, then we may as well get a common account which we can all draw from for our common use, and use our separate account or individual or personal accounts on the side.
On the side. Yeah. Thank you so much. Sir, please, your take.
Hello. All right. So money and marriage are ideally supposed to work together. Okay. But unfortunately, in marriage, a lot of the conflict is centered around money. Okay. because of people understanding about money. So when it comes to a marriage and we are talking about money, what I always ask the couple, where are you coming from? Where you learn from? How did they keep the money? What did you learn? How is your understanding about money? And if possible, did you actually sit down to talk about money before going to the marriage? But sometimes people don't talk about money at all. And we are different.
Yeah.
The way we see money, our beliefs, how we even spend it is different. So when you believe you are coming from a place that your parents are good with joint account, and you force that on your spouse, you might end up creating trouble.
Okay.
So we need to have a conversation about that. Let's know the benefits about it, why I want us to have a joint account. If that is not established, we will have an issue. So people can have a joint account, and it can wait for them. You can also have an independent account. Probably others can also decide to have a joint account, which is just for a project.
Okay.
So we keep our personal account that we have. Whatever we want to dedicate to that project, we send it there. And again, the fact that we have separate account does not mean that we have to be secretive and not be able to talk to our partner about our finances and so on and so forth. Or if I'm with you, my friend, if I'm broke, the first person to turn to you is you.
Yes.
So if I'm hiding from you, how do I turn to you? Even the bank, when we go and we are asking for finance, they want to know how we use our money for and so on and so forth. So I'll encourage spouses as we go on with this conversation. Let's start from where you are, and before we get to where we want to get to. Because the marriage journey is the two shall become one.
Yes.
It's not instantly one.
Yeah. Yeah.
So joint account is possible,
Okay.
but it will take time to get there.
It will take time to get there. Mama Efia, joint account.
The joint account. Let me show this scenario and see. See, when we went to secondary school, we had friends. You say you are eating together. Your friend will say, okay, let's eat gari and shito. Then me, I bring the gari, I bring the shito, I bring the sardine. You say we are doing everything together. How does that work? It is the reality of it and how honest we are about it that we determine whether a joint account will be feasible or not. I agree with my two previous speakers. The matter of a joint account is not one of universal application for everybody. For some people, it works for them. But if you have a joint account where one person is unemployed, how is that joint account? Because you are not putting anything in it. If you have a joint account where one person employs all the funds to his or her side of the family, such that anytime I ask for something out of the same account, you say I'm being wasteful. But it's okay for your brother's school fees, your sister's school fees, your grandmother's outdooring, everything. Then it's not a joint account. I was also just saying before we started, I had a small survey with my staff today. I was asking them, which one of you would like to have a joint account with your husband? I only have females. All of them declined. Not even one of them was ready to think about it. And most one or two of them would say, maybe if it is for a specific project, we will pull it. But to keep the money such that all of us are signatories to the account, one person signing, no. I said, why? One of them said, my lady, nipa nyo, nipa sisa. And see, that's the thing. When you are doing something with someone and there are trust issues, the moment somebody shows a certain kind of propensity to make you think that the person is not worth trusting, you have a problem. So please, the women usually don't have a problem with joint account if their money is less and the man's money is more. Then they don't have a problem. If their money is small, then that's a problem. A lot of people feel that when they earn more, and the impression is being created in our society that it is the men who have built the house, The men bought the car for us to sit in. The men do everything, then they have a problem. But otherwise, it depends on the people involved. If you think that your partner is honest, open, and will not be a spendthrift, joint account is fine. Okay. If you don't know your partner too well, or your partner has shown signs and miracles that he's not to be trusted, joint account is not for you.
So, now listen, joint account. So it means that we should, everybody should save his or her own.
No, I think all three of us said almost the same thing. That look at the situation you are in, because marriage is your experience in your marriage, what you are going through. Your situation is different from the other person. And she even said that it may work for some people, but if you consider your situation, I mean the two parties, I think Councillor also said that the two of you involved should discuss. And I also said we all speak different financial languages, because my need may be your waste. You understand? I mean, so to avoid conflicts, friction, and unnecessary tension, I think that it is better if we keep joint account for specific situations, projects, or any financial need we may consider that this is worth keeping or contributing to, then we do it.
Okay.
Otherwise,
So it means that, Mama, for specific, okay.
There's something. I have a lot of foreign friends, British, American. Whenever you are having a conversation with them, many of them female lawyers and judges, and you try to explain to them the concept of the African family, they don't get it. If you tell them, for instance, that when my father died, his family came and asked my mother where the money was, they don't understand. Which family are you talking about? You explain to them that my father's family would still be his mother, his father, and the rest, and my uncles. They are his family, and we are his wife and children. They don't understand. Do you understand what I mean?
They are in different worlds.
That's the whole thing. My point is that when we marry, we do not lose our identity as members of the family into which we were birthed. Whereas in other places, the moment you marry, your wife is your family. When you have children, then your wife and children are your family. And then your birth parents, your brothers and sisters become your extended they don't understand. For our tradition, your extended family actually is your wife and children, and your real family is moja moja. And when you do not look after your what white people and foreign people take to be your extended family, my Ashantis will say that because even now, my father was Ashanti. Now when I tell people that my father was Ashanti and they are foreign, they don't understand. They want me to say I'm an Ashanti, but my father was an Ashanti. And even now, if I go to my father's village right now, they will say that Kwedo marching for Naba. But we are not his. Okay. The reason why I'm taking this explanation on and on is because we still maintain our responsibility to that aspect of the family. Okay. Our mothers, our fathers, our cousins, which under normal circumstances in other places would have been a matter of choice. Yeah. But we may not have the choice. So if you have a background where you are the firstborn, you have become the breadwinner, and you have married. In those days, it used to be a prayer for mothers. God, please, as my son is marrying, let this woman not be a blocker of my blessing. And that kind of thing. Yeah. So that is the reason why if you put money together, and my money is in it, and you are using it for special branch operations, it may be difficult. Meanwhile, maybe I don't even have siblings who are in school. So whatever I spend is mine.
Yes.
So that may be the problem. Okay. Otherwise, if you are able to really come together, think together, and plan together, it's the best thing.
Okay. Okay. So, Doc, I want to know, you see, just as you have explained to us, we've understood, but still there are others who think that their money, like the women who said that my money is my money. So for me to add it to yours, maybe your husband will say, okay, we want to have a joint account. Some women will not understand, just as Mommy said. So in this, what are we? I want you to educate us. The separate account and then the joint account, yeah.
All right, so to make this conversation easier for those who are concentrating, who are trying to go the same path, even especially for the singles going into that direction, because those who are married already, what they are doing is difficult to change.
Yeah.
Well, I ask you, let's start having the easier conversation by talking about our assets.
Okay.
How much do we earn? People don't talk about it. Don't just mention a gross. What do you take home? And besides that, are you servicing any loan? Is it a car loan, mortgage? Let's know. As much as even MTM mobile money. So let's start with the assets, what you have. When we finish with the assets, then we come to the liabilities, what you own. So I say, if I'm going to the marriage, I know that I'm with a man or a woman who have one or two. So we are starting with one or two. That tells me that you are honest. If I'm planning with you, it is easier. But if the person is not able to speak to you about this, it's difficult going forward. And again, as the person is speaking to you, you learn from them if they are even spending pattern. Whether they are people who love to save, they are people who like to spend, they are people who save for the season. You have idea about that.
Yeah.
If we don't have the clear idea, then we are going to be acting on fear, based on hearsay. It happened to somebody. I read in the media, it was here, it was there. So because of that, I don't want to go into it. And sometimes we don't even tell our partner, but we just be dragging our feet, and they will feel bad about it. So when we want to have a conversation, we talk about our assets, liability, and even add a goal, your financial goal, what you want to have in the next 5 years, long term and the short term. It makes it easier for us to have that idea that let's go into that. Imagine your partner doesn't have a good rating in terms of credit. It's borrowing, playing thing around. And you are going to have a joint account with that person. You bring trouble to yourself. So as soon as I know that you are coming from a place that is not so good, my dear, if you put all our money together and do this, in case bank take away our property, we'll be in trouble. So why don't you think that we keep it separate, and have something different so that we can work with it? As we work on your own to get better. Actually, have the conversation. So what our advice is, the two of us, let's be honest. If the honesty will be established, it depends on how transparent we are with some of these topics.
I would quickly say that if you'd ask me personally, from experiences we've had, if it is not the situation where you have your individual account and everything you have, yours and his, both of you have only one joint account, then I would not advise you going into marriage to do it. It brings too much tension. It breeds too much conflict, mistrust, a whole lot. So, personally, I won't advise anybody to make, going into marriage now, to make that decision. You, like he said, you shall be one. You have not become one yet. So wait until the day, maybe until Jesus comes. Keep yours. Let him keep his. And have one joint account if there's the need to do that. Otherwise, keep your separate account.
Okay, and then I want to also know, is it important to know the spending habit of your partner? Is it important? Yeah. We'll take. Okay.
Oh, it's important. And if I'm going to travel with you on this journey, this long journey, that when you enter, you are told that the devil do us apart. We are becoming one family.
Yes.
I need to know your spending habits. And in this case, it's conversation that sometimes people think others are being judgmental about it, but that's not the case. Mm-hmm. And I'll just give you a personal experience with me, myself, not using any other person's stuff.
Okay.
So me and my wife, when I profile myself, I think I am the type that think like more of a saver than spending. But when I have money in my account, I think I have a threshold. I don't want to go beyond this kind of threshold. But she'll say, oh, the money is there, it's supposed to be spent, and you need a thing, go for it. So sometimes they ask, oh, so this money is finished. But I say, if you want, I can account for me. I am not saying I don't trust you.
Okay.
I hope you are getting it. So sometimes there are men who ask questions, oh, so can I be the money I gave you is all finished. There's a question like that. It might not be questioning you that, oh, I don't trust you, just misuse money. Maybe because of their mentality in terms of saving other things, they've not even thought of the needs and other stuff.
Yeah.
So when such statements comes, I'm begging the two of you, try and clear it.
Okay.
Because if we leave it like that, we leave resentment. We are going to where conflict is. But if I love to spend and my partner love to save, what we need to do is the two of us have to identify our needs and wants.
Okay. Identify our needs
and wants.
Okay.
There are some things we don't need them.
Yeah.
So we can spend more on the needs than the wants.
Okay.
To be able to help us not to get to a place that we found ourselves wanting in terms of finances.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Mama Efia.
Yes, we should.
Yeah.
You see, the truth of the matter is that you need a backup every time. You need a buffer every time. So you actually sit down and you have a meeting. And I personally have a notebook that I sometimes record important things in. Because most of the time, Eric will not be available. So I have a notebook and I write. And I am supervising this project, that kind of thing. And I spent the money in this way, that way, outstanding. School fees, bills, and recurrent expenditure. Every month, electricity is a done deal. Yeah. Water. Now that we are in December, there is the likelihood that people will be overspending in December. But by 10th January, we'll be paying massive school fees. A lot of schools have even revised their fees. So as you are eating chicken, then you sit down, you plan.
Yes.
Now there are those who are just off the cuff doing something. It can be a very irritating habit. Or you go to some place, somebody tells you that there is, I always have to say, throughout our marriage, if Eric goes home and somebody brings a request which has a significant impact, he will tell you that, okay, let me go and discuss with my wife. So at a point, Grandma used to say that, you say you discuss with your wife, you don't discuss with your wife. So she'll call me, please. He says he's discussing, he's not discussing. I'm telling you that this is what we need, because sometimes you act faster than he does. But you should let everybody understand that one partner is incomplete. And so you cannot bring a request and say that, please, you know how it is that me, I don't know about you, those of you who are patrilineal. Okay. But those on the matrilineal line, when you go for visit, they won't call you Ada. When they see that your wife has gone inside, they say, if you do that and it fails once, twice, then you understand. Because the people have responsibilities. Yeah. Also, things have changed.
Yes.
Many years ago, I would have just sent my children to my brothers to collect school fees in those days, because I am their sister and my children are their real family members. Now things have changed. Hey. Nobody's brother is paying school fees for anyone.
No.
So you should understand that you have these responsibilities, which you cannot renege on. And I keep talking about backup. There are people that are able to spend everything they earn such that
Hey.
if there is a shutdown and they don't get their salary for 2 months, they will feel it. They will feel it. But you should be able to do your plans such that you can go without a salary for a while in case anything happens or in case somebody falls sick. And if we want to look at it, you remember during the lockdown, it was a big deal for a lot of people. So we should pay attention to such things.
Okay, we should pay attention. Manison,
I want to say that it's a crucial thing to know. This whole thing about Christianity is about accountability. So you need to know how accountable the person you are entering into, for better, for worse. How accountable is this person? Because if you have a perception about somebody who is extravagant, I mean, that in itself, or if you think that you are entering into marriage with somebody who manages money so well, and you get into marriage and you realize it's the opposite, disappointment sets in. Yeah. So no, study the person you are in before you even go into marriage. If you are in it already, the Lord will help you. But if you are going into it, you need to know the spending habits of these children. Ensure this person is accountable. He mentioned that for some, immediately you are asked to, oh, so Nasike Wudi and Medusika. No. What we are saying is that account for what came into your hands. You need, for your own good. If you find out that the person you are going into marriage with is not that accountable, ensure that he gets professional help. If you are in it already, get training, get professional people to help you. Budgeting, understand it. Because money is one of the greatest cause of divorce now.
Oh, okay.
Yes, so it is a crucial issue. Know the spending habits of the one you are marrying or the one you have married. Papa, everything about marriage is not spiritual. Amen.
It's not spiritual, eh? Papa, what if your partner, you have done all that you could, but still, she's not changing or he's not changing from that habit. You want to spend. Some people, they want to wear your suit, and they're more than or person suit, I'm more than now. Also, by also person did that from. Did you there? Yeah. So what do you do when the person is not changing? What do you do?
So I've seen this coming up a couple of times.
Okay.
And people struggling over this. I'm married to you. If you are in a business, a behavior, attitude, whatever it is, and it affects me, we need to pay attention to that. Because the marriage is about two of us. You are not alone.
Yes.
And the fact I'm talking about it, it means that it's a concern for the two of us. Sometimes people will just label you complain too much. You nag too much. That they are trying to shut you down.
Yes.
So when I tell a couple like that is, first of all, let your partner know how you feel about their spending habit.
Okay.
You don't accuse the person, you don't attack the person, but let the person know how you feel.
Okay. How
it affects you, how it makes you uncomfortable, how it frustrates you. Give your partner the opportunity to learn about his behavior, the impact it's having on you. That's the first. Second, make requests.
Okay.
So instead of complain, make a request. So complain it has happened already.
Yeah.
And we are talking about it. So already the partner is feeling a bit bad and stuff like that. But I want to empower you to do something better. So I'll make a request. My sweetheart or my dear, my wife or whatever it is. And I'd love that we have a budget and we stick to our budget.
Okay.
We stick to our income. We stick to A, B, C, D.
Okay.
It's a plea or it's a request coming from me. And even add thank you to it.
Okay. Is there add thank you to it?
Add thank you to it.
Okay.
At least you are making a request.
Okay.
And if they're able to make any effort in improving, appreciate. But sometimes people don't appreciate. And sometimes, if you don't appreciate, you just shut the person back to where they are. So appreciate so that they can carry along. If that doesn't work out, I will advise that maybe you say a professional help together. Okay. Not you alone, the two of you together.
Okay, okay. Mama Efia.
Mama Mpacho, Adaroma. Unsa Abigail so our Bible mu. And Tiemra ye can say our Bible mu no. Abigail so our Bible mu. Abigail na sebio we de cancer we de mwanimu a. Wo course one David ikodi nkomo a o ka say Efi mi kunu wajimi okwasia ni dini ne honam se. You see, the reason why I'm saying this is that I'm a firm believer in frankness. So be our man take a credit say asem I actually say it as it is, and everybody talks about it sometimes. But I say it as it is. One kasa, wako school, wa ye juma, we sua die, wuni munyansa. Who this guy baby and now say man school fees if you na beba. Yen pa wo cha wansa. Yen sre wansa. And son waka say woman, you know, sometimes I look at certain things and I just am bothered by it. Bronya do me de bronya be yasem. Mo beto party. Ashentade. Acha February 14th ni akamoma esi street mo say omo nkoji school fees mra. Eso fa so pa anything. As far as one is saying, a bit more a year bia bebe fie me kan say mo abusuafo atwa ntoma mama mu ntwa wo but onipa asrewa wo hwe ho ansan eno wa nwene wo buo a year bia bebe fie age yankase ye atwa ntoma asomasi ebetwa any ade. You do what you can.
Yes.
But if you find that your partner is not going the way you should, wise up. I have seen a lot of women. Let me give you an example without naming names. Me wonyonko bi no ware papa bi. Why no say sofu. Enti asem biara ebeba no nyame na ne kan ye. Ti de bia na me ka chen say papa mpacho ka kire nyankopon say asem na o ka kire ono ma ayire nti. Na nyankopon kasa kire Mary no no ano kasa kire Joseph na this one-sided message that nobody else gets. Who say Christopher de e kan ni the Lord says ni nyame kan ye de nyame kan. Timeshe no monso omo joint account.
Okay.
Both salaries were getting into the same account until the man lost his job. But the signatories were one signing.
Tell me one is signing.
Who biara obey issue check no yetimi yima.
Oh, okay.
Enti no yen kasi yemienu both signing.
Okay.
In which case he would issue the check and both of you would sign. That is a check.
Yeah.
In this particular case, one signing. The sister in a betu kwa yobeba na brother ya sign sikei. Well, yeah, was so evangelism na sister be here sika we you 10 million what the amawe. Say. Timothy said the idea ne kono na me say me de me susu ye ne like sister was saying. Wanya ya ma salary ni betom. Ti salary ni the other man in them. But there are other things. You are a trainer like me, I'm a trainer. Training ne ba ehun sika and the enfanko. Oye bia lokumana bibi extra work enfantum. Bibi ye extra other than the salary na enfantum.
No, fanko separate.
Na separate.
Okay.
Fanko bank baby kura brother ni susu. Because only party one man say so mama na beka say wo gumption ye adwuma mo adwene nya adwuma. Because asem bi ba ube hu na ka oba time me pa cho we hu akokọ nini an medi na chida. And your bad time and in Medinechi. So if somebody needs to put your foot down, I will advise the women. Mama when na hokakra, tafla che min panyefai. She is animal re. Long and short, within 3-6 months, she was shocked at how much she saved. Oto asase, esi dying, edru baby na brother ni mu hwe. Because onye hu se sika kita no pe. Na sika na echire bra no nia onfa na yiri sika na nye. Anytime I can say it depends on the kind of person you are dealing with. And eventually, I will reject. But by the time I say when you see no, na a run as if fear or the ba air cotton.
Wow.
And so, brother and second, Sikanoa. Quebec, say, Yamisi, on Fanco Bois, sister, see, one farm, one bear mother. Or the Bois sisters, now were a sumunumu, M.Y.
Now, Yanyamijuma.
No question when he mean to me, can't that say, brother, no. Or ye bribia a year untoward with any other person. But what I noticed was that you know how young ladies can be. Say, yeah, they turn on the taps. No master artist, brother, na brother, yako ATM, no about that, no this that kind of thing. Intermediate means say when it comes to these things, because whenever there is a huge suffering in the home, normally it is the women who struggle the most. Oshe nesika semno se die si kono muawa misrao. Sometimes you find that your husband is overly generous. Or titi sika maudi emfa nko jina boutique ntonta de open a savings account. Be saving. Because a bedroom baby maybe ana no way yaba.
Sa pepe. Manisi bibi wo ha anaye ntuado.
If your partner is not changing, right? That's the question. That's the question you asked. Yes. I was going to say that there are certain things.
No, your husband with you.
If your partner, said partner, right?
It can be a man, it can be a woman. Yes. So not the male only.
No, yes. I'm saying that there are things in our marriages that we manage. Because sometimes you seek professional help, you've done everything, and the person is just not changing. What Auntie is saying is that find a way to manage the situation. If set boundaries, if a pool or Benedict, they have a general pool, or not, the woman started cutting off some other finances. If it is not money and it's any other behavior, the person is not changing. Find a way to go around it. Then you can live with it. Okay. Otherwise, it will keep bringing conflict, keep raising up issues that are not supposed to be. So management of the issue of management of our partners is also very important.
Yeah. Daddy, we want to know what influences it. The influence, some of the factors that influence the spending habit. Because
I start from our growing up.
Okay.
So if you now found the house you find yourself,
okay,
how they spend on you, how they spend stuff, you will pick things knowing and without knowing from the people you live with.
Oh, okay.
And that is the first place. The other place that we learn from in our modern world now is the friends.
Yeah.
The friends. Show me your friend. So the friends can influence your choice of decisions and stuff like that. Then now trend, even with the media, social media being the number one. So you see people wear a certain style. Everybody wants to wear a certain style. Now it is like iPhone Pro. And those don't have even money. They want Pro. Those who are leading a boyfriend still want Pro. And I asked them, if you have the ordinary Android, if you can do the same thing, what's the essence of the Pro? So we overly learn stuff like that.
Okay.
Colleagues like this that we are close to, we learn from that. So the people that's within our circle, we learn from. If the circle becomes bigger, it could be in a church, it could be in a group, it could be in a society, it could be a culture stuff, we learn. So watch the people you talk to, the people you look up to, the people you relate to. Those people have influence on you.
Okay.
Without knowing. So if you have a partner who is spending so much, take time and look at the person you go out with, the people. So sometimes the spending, the one who is influencing is the one even outside the marriage, not the one inside the marriage. So when you step out, it's just obeying the other masters or other friends, or pleasing them, just as Mommy said in terms of the philosopher. So it's just trying to be nice, outside gentility. Home cry, and it come back to mess himself around.
I'm Devia.
You know, there are things that your environment really dictates. For instance, Mama, me man cry hand. Na birthday, see a the 40th birthday, 50th birthday. Ni said ye mi hu na hai. Na mi ko bida.
Wow.
Metina kumasi nyina. Kofodua. Mi ko bida birthday. Mi ko bida. Nya mi ni man see e kwa yie, kumasi for de e kwa yie. Me ban cry hai. Birthday. En cry ha so na mi hu se mu ye bibia mo kire ata. Atade a nipa be hye, the environment. En cry ha na ebusa say what is the attire for funeral? Yeti kumasi ye nim say e brisi ne kobene ye wie. By ha na ye be kire mo se mo be yi a ye we ye black and white, we ye white, we ye ha na mi hu bi.
Oh, okay.
Until you see that you are spending on the things that your environment dictates that you should. And can I so na me hu say salon wo ye wo mu class. Ebia yesi ebi mu wo ho no mu a ba bi o mu ye omuti no o hwe ne ho a wontumi nwura container na me komu no me da so container mu besi me. Because onipa ne ye tire ma me na ye that's fine, but there are those who are affected by it. There are those who are even worried about what people will say about the cars they are using. Me, if I'm moving, not pick up no, it is a tractor need to me they make call baby I make qua. I can't be bothered. These things really affect some people.
Okay.
The peer pressure. And I always say, by the time you are married, you are too old to be influenced by peer pressure. But people are worried about it. Wedding ya and crofo ye. Ebi munya problem te hon penten kwada because they are used to a certain kind of thing, and so everybody does. Those are the things that bother them. And by now, people should be able to shut their eyes to those things. Let me give you an example. Some time ago, I lent a book to somebody. Meme ubesre mi book na meme de ma. That time me ete laboni ha binder anymore. Uwie ye na di mi book bre me na menye skato book o de bre me aka chem say oba fe say ha no na wo fie ni na say papa e fa ho. Em fa ho. Me wana metin fa ho. And I couldn't be bothered by it. I said, "Yeah, crap, I mean, so to me to book babeji." That's my point. People are so bothered by whether the homes they are living in. Obi wo ho no mo a, wo si fie wo nwie. Wetimi asiesie mu akotinem. Sebio, wo so won fa so chen wo colleague na, or rent na 2 years bia, or kwa kwasere obi sika dia so ne rent so no. But ne yiri biti ho no mo a, oye worried the same nkofo beka say ote uncompleted house mu. Enye obi asema. Enye social media na ye ka. Se wako Kempinski na wo kwa akodi lunch a. Ehun photo twa wo Instagram no, eno so ni rai ben. Me just say, whose business is it what you are eating, what you are wearing, and where you are sleeping? It's nobody's business. We have made sure that our lives are such a business for others that we are doing what we cannot do. And no need the problem neban.
And no need the problem neban. Manison, actually, what there might be there, or there might be to them.
One of factors most times we overlook is carryover debt. Yeah, wedding, every expenditure, pictures, decoration, all of these debt. Now we are married, we have to pay them. Big wedding.
Okay.
Now everybody wants to do everybody wants to do that kind of wedding, you know. So
they were wedding me ever go chiga monano.
Yes.
Oh.
Bridal party, no. Baby.
Okay. Do you and then me I see.
So the decor, the cost of the decor. Yes. And then the buffet. And then the unaina ata. Everything is expensive. So now you are married and you have to pay this debt.
So you have to go in for loan to do
they
all
do.
these
Yes.
things.
They go in for loan. And they keep paying the loan with loans, forgetting that every loan you take has rate interest on it.
You
go all the time.
But I have actually seen a case in which by the time they came to court for the divorce, the debt for the wedding was still pending. And you know, or the car and I or the abacor to know why you're wedding 4 years or that's so it. And what about our baby travel and minty just say what no troubles no doors mano.
Oh, we are there with the according to your
exactly.
No, now I think I would chase all these things onto me channel to money because of low self-esteem. Okay. This is where Osofumame is. And to be in her class, there is a certain kind of dressing I have to do. There's a certain kind of lifestyle. I mean, to feel accepted, to feel belonging. But all these things are traced to our self-esteem. Who are you? So if you know who you are, you will not strive for acceptance. So know yourself. Know who you are, accept yourself, and accept your uniqueness.
Exactly.
Otherwise, you will still be you'll be working and living your life for people to accept you. And, that is the bottom line. Self-esteem.
Self-esteem. If it happens like that, it's a big problem. Our youth
it is.
Today, I don't know what is happening, but
most of these things we face in marriages. Now, in Kolani school fees, and I bet na mami aka Christmas asemu ya. And Kolani school fees, and birthday coming bida. Because I'm calculating the money for the birthday, won't it solve this one? And because this person did it, I must do it to belong to a certain class. A sense of belonging is what is pushing us to be doing most of these Kohojikakra weddings. The last time I was, just last Saturday, and I was like, hey, this deco alone is somebody's lifestyle, lifelong savings. They're kind of deco from, and I'm like, what a waste. But to the person
for like 6 hours or 5 hours program.
Oh no,
so when they say crap, the law says 2 hours.
2 hours.
They see it all the time.
Now the law says 2 hours. Mama, me dear, near me Kenny. When they say that Asrewa or Shano one in bu, Asrewa be one nehoso. Me no, just because I have seen somebody doing it, I will not condemn it. But me in Kasa, I want to be like that person by all means. Let me give you an example. Supposing my husband's youngest sister were getting married. Keche warrior. Nini anomobia fakani bi. We say me fa atade. We say o me hwe aduane ama. Me say me hwe cars na ama. We say o ye man na be ye flower girls nti mapam ntade ni nyina. Your cousins are going to be bridesmaids nti o we so afa. Nti hu no say wa ye kwachi kakra na. Eye wo say oni ni kunu na eboka na bia na ne kapreba sei. Ebinim.
Yeah.
And she said, one so what is me? Ah, we a PSA wo fie. Ah, we nye be a wire juma one day crada. We are watching say, Upese, we are dear Cofoni, any beer, or watch.
Yeah.
There are people, so just don't look at someone and live your life.
Yes.
That's all I say.
Yeah.
Because I've been to beautiful places for weddings. But I have also been to very small, intimate weddings. And they all work equally well. Same for funerals, birthdays. Why wouldn't birthday I celebrate with a nipa single 40 as a lotto number? Bia ma ye kasa bre ansa ye do 40. That's it. When in my house, I have this policy of not celebrating birthdays because of the nature of my work. I used to be a prosecutor before I became a judge. And in meantime, person a dog.
Yeah.
Ebeba mi fie. It's not security wise.
Yes.
And it will be our birthday dura mi fie policy ni very simple. Ye fufu tomawa. Ni edi nkosu egu so na asesa mene se petesa. Where the birthday? Ni ato nyoma ma ni abompa ma. We give you a present and you cut a cake. And we take pictures. You've celebrated. Yeah. But for some people, they want to have a big celebration. My problem is, ufa birthday party yema uba. Now we need a pamunusi abontin wo schooler. How does it make sense?
Yeah. How does it
make sense? Beba di amenye.
Sir. Ahunchire beba di amanye. Na birthday impo die. Ye moti nam jollofi chicken ni bi ha. Yatiti famu wa ye de bobonko ma ye wie ye birthday anisa. And I know where did I go? Nipa kume. It was so beautiful. So we are about 25 or 30. So both families, and it was so beautiful. Everything went on well, and it was well organized. Even the pastor, something small, but it was okay. You know, we shouldn't, do some extravagant things. Be just say we yenti me yempacho. They are meant to me no. Na maye na uko boka kofafa debi aya festi dan kwaji loan festi dan na no beboa. And so we said, in what way does money affect marriages? Is the money now marriages ya kika, but we want to know, others also want to know, in what ways can marriage affect marriages? Yeah.
Money affects everything, even the economy.
In a relationship, both positive and negative.
Even if you love somebody, the best way to show is this when you have money. Yes. I'm telling you. Because so also you wake up every morning. No afraid Pakunu. How are you? Are you fine? Have you eaten? But sometimes you say, oh, because I care about you, no my dream will say, oh, within this week, I know you spend 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so I want to make a provision ahead. And then I momo you. And I call you, ask, hey, what was that for? Oh, just for you to take care of yourself. Oh, so next time when I call, you eating, what are you waiting for? That is more caring. So you need money.
Okay, so it means you have provided already.
Thank you.
Okay, so, okay.
God loves us because He has provided for us already. So when it comes to money in marriage, it plays a lot of role.
Okay.
Yeah. And we need to identify those rules. These things we're talking about, people are able to do it very well. Others are not able to do it very well. It's all the knowledge gap.
Okay.
So those who can do it very well, they know that, hey, I have to spend A, B, C, D on this set of stuff. So every month I allocate this amount of money to do that. So it solves the issues and makes it easier. And some people, and even in the marriage, they are the account manager. They are actually responsible for the payment and make sure the receipts are taken and they kept it for future purposes. Because I've had an issue before. Somebody came to my office and just thinking about divorce, and all what he's talking about is just because the partner didn't pay a fees that has made a allocation for the money on time. And the child was sacked, and the thing has continued. So money play a major role. So we solve issues that are in the home. When we made the money also important than the relationship, we lose the relationship.
Okay.
So some people will let you feel like the money and the property, the things I have is more important than you. You are losing the relationship.
Okay.
Because all of us, we go out and work. Why are we working so much hard? Because of our family.
Yes.
When I sat here, Mommy was talking, they are talking about their children, the fees, not just a grade. Not just a grade.
Yes.
So if I don't have the money, then that is also another way of thinking. So when the money is not there, it brings a lot of thinking, worry, anxiety, depression. Some things that we don't have to fight over it, we fight over it. Things that we don't have to accuse, we accuse. And I'm telling you, there are some people, their problem in their marriage is just that because they don't have money.
The money is not enough.
Yes, the money is not there. It's because there's a common stepping out. Oh, we are going out to spend 30 minutes just to take Coke or Fanta or water and just go with the family. So, this place there, when I enter, the cost there, I will not go. So everybody is meant to stay inside the room for the whole year, and you don't complain, you don't say anything. And that alone is making somebody feel uncomfortable in that place. So what I want to say in the summary is the money answers most of the things that we need in a marriage there. So when we have it, it's a good power or tools for us to use. But don't make the money more important than the people in the relationship. Your spouse, your children, anybody in the marriage, don't let your money be more important than them.
Okay.
All right.
Don't let your money be more important than them. Mama Ache, do you have some?
Writers, they've been able to categorize people in the area of money usage in 4 categories. We have the drivers. Drivers are spenders. They feel that, in their existence, if they are able to live in big houses, show big cars, when they get here, you must see that they have come. They have come. They are spenders.
Okay.
And then we have the amiable. They are savers. These spenders, they lack the ability to save.
Okay.
They lack the ability. So if you are married to them, their attitude will definitely influence, their negative side will influence the pattern of the marriage.
Okay.
The financial rhythm of the marriage.
Okay.
And then we have the amiables. These amiables are savers. They are the type of people, in their negatives, they would worship money in place of people. Sika daho na onipewu enso so no or say nenkokra bomu. How will she survive? She's saving for the future. So they have the tendency of choosing money over people.
Okay.
That is in their weakness.
Okay.
But their positives, they can help you to save.
Okay.
So it's how you manage it.
Okay.
And then we have the expressions. These people, they would also express their money, use their money on people. So long as I have money, if I'm married to you, I have provided for you. The next thing can wait. This person is in trouble. Let me help. Most pastors are like that. They will spend all their money on the church members, and their families will suffer. Most pastors are like that.
Hallelujah.
Amen.
Yes,
So all these people have their negatives and their positive. Know the spending. We have already talked about it. No, money will affect every aspect of our lives. Bible says money answers all things now.
Yes.
In Jesus' ministry, it got to a point where he has preached the word. He must provide. He says that give them food to eat. The disciple says, we don't have, let them go. He says that give them food. You understand? So money must answer. Provision, every aspect of the marriage life, money influences it. So know the spending habits of your partner. His weakness, try that aspect where he's weak, you will be strong, so that you will nicely complement him. And then there is the blend beautifully. Otherwise, there be our attention.
Yes, Mama Efia.
Nkrofo bi wonyum bi a ya no moto ya na ehia kakra odo kakra sika kakra. You see, the thing is that you can't also profess to love people without showing it.
Yes.
Love is an action word.
Yes,
it's
yes,
like a noun.
Yes.
If you love somebody, you show it.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you show it and you don't show love to, it doesn't work very well.
Yeah.
So money is important.
Yeah.
And money, if you love somebody, and you are prepaid, and to prepaid, do to make us I love you now. Then me do kania, and I say I love you now. If you're ready too,
I love you, Adrian.
I love you. See you, intino. Sikadi ehunya.
Yeah.
And even the Bible says that money answereth all things.
Yes.
So I don't also want people to pretend that if you really love someone, you won't be asking for money or that the person doesn't have to give you money. It is only the stuff that Nigerian movies are made of. So don't follow it. That you actually
Let me
do
support
need the
you
money.
by saying Bible says money is a defense.
It's true. It's true. So please, money is important. And also, Tina, main per se. Obi beya no one say onipa ne nya adwuma nso yebe ware yebe wo. How do you expect the children to be taken care of? And now say nipa not to be taken care of. That kind of thing. Here, everybody should be able to have an ability to make money.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to say cancer for no kura.
So, Doc, I want to ask. So it means that if a partner is not working, there's no need for you people to get married, or
Hello. This is a serious conversation.
yeah.
And sometimes people think that the fact that you love somebody, you can become everything for the person. That is not true. I can play a role in my house as a husband and maybe a head or whatever it is, or a class professor or whatever it is, but I cannot be God in that house. Maybe sometimes somebody will meet you and you don't have money. And you are blaming other people because my parents didn't care for me and so and so. Then you say, oh, don't worry, I'll take care of you. You are trying to be a God for that person, to rely on you. And you know what a good book says in Jeremiah? Cursed is a man who puts his trust on another person. So for me, if we are going to get into marriage, it can be responsibility, additional work.
Yeah.
Do you have what it takes to get to that place? If you don't have it, you are not qualified for marriage. And that's where maturity comes in.
Yeah.
So if I meet you, I love you, it's not about how old you are, or when you are 30 years, 40 years, or whatever it is. Can you be responsible for yourself, your own family? Because there are men, when they lose job, and they don't have money coming in, sometimes the way they feel, they even end up abusing the people around them.
Yeah.
So when you meet him and doesn't have money, the marriage can be on hold. You could pray with him, you could motivate him, you could push him, whatever it is. That is fine. But don't go and say that, take this money, go and marry me. I'm putting my stuff in a bag, go and marry me. But when you started doing this, a time will come, you are teaching a man that you can be everything.
Okay.
So you don't change. The day that you ask him to be responsible, say, then you have changed. Because in the beginning, that's not who you were.
Yeah.
And now he's asking who has been talking to you, who are you associating with, and so on and so forth. So let's us all play our good role. Be a human being. Be a good friend. Don't be God. Don't be a father. Don't be a mother. And then life can be more easier for each other. So no money, no work. Well, hold on. You are not ready for marriage.
Okay. Hold on. You are not ready for marriage. So upon this note,
can I quickly add that, Bible says that the borrower is a slave to the lender. So whoever is sponsoring the marriage, if both of you are not working, whoever is sponsoring the marriage, controls the pace of the marriage.
Yes.
So it means that you are not in control of your own home. And so it is a false start.
Okay.
What we are saying is that nobody is saying don't get married if you are not working. Na sewushe will living any obra wom na se 24th ba. Now you allow somebody to control the movements of your marriage, then that is up to you.
Mama Mpacho, wiki muna many asmesi bi di nkomo. My husband and I na discuss and you may be a nanseng abaswa ye pensioneni ho. The young men of today are so happy to hand over their responsibilities to other people. Uba be wari obiba. Edina kotena wo dem. One way duane ama wedi. Esi ni so te se doctor edura no pe abakwa wi abakwa ni meba wu ya. Wo twen mo obi aba be fa ho ka ma. Na oba na wo be ware no abusa anse na ma me ne papa den no mo be ye. Eduane no mo be fa. And why be ye say so happy to just renege on their responsibilities to other people. And then ayana meshe. Na fe ye kakra na wase no kaka se bia wampa. Na ye onwa. They will control you and control your home.
Okay.
They will control you to the extent that oyiri nyinsen awabusa ho say I no ama yire nyinsen mo wo bebrebe sa aden enye na asem but because some people are so happy. Oh, me yire de ye ho kire ye ya okọ ne brother ho anu akwaji sika ba or how na wonim. You must be in control of your own home, your own finances. Enti ye nia wa ho odin betumi. Binu mo me nka say bia ye wedding ama me enche ofie o. Bu ho no ma ye wedding ani ama no dai safoa. Bu ho no ma ne yiri ye wedding ani ama no brand new second hand car. No aje. Tie rubber ni ade na modi tu mu ho safo hene say oh me worry me yiri ma me ne papa ma ye mi say o ma ye mi say o ma ye mi say. After 2 minutes na girl no call ne papa daddy mpacha mbeji sika akoye servicing. Be hu say ne papa nti me talk ama wo kunu not wonu to on to me nya servicing keke. It has become a problem for you. Yeah. Do what you can within your means.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I will just say this and say it again. This thing that has become the norm of people just passing on their responsibilities to the parents of their spouses. Uko akoware be maybe. Ni maame ne papa adwuma omo ye fa ho ben. It has nothing to do with you because you are not marrying the parents.
Yeah.
You are not also marrying the parents of your wife. You are marrying your wife. What money the parents are making is not your business. The family, their funds, it's not your business. What the person is bringing is not your business. You should be able to So let's be very careful about that, please. Now, China, money, moyere no more check, no. Money careful.
Yeah.
Okay,
thank you very much. Yeah, baby, I agree. Yeah, be pause now. More question, yeah. The audience, now maybe say some questions. So right now, we are taking in your questions. If you have any question for us, then you raise your hand. Then, please, Mike, kindly, Mr. Mensah. Yeah.
Hello. Mine is a contribution and advice. Marriage is a command from God. And when you get into marriage, don't go in for a gain, because Amos 3:3 said, as nipa bienu eye adwene baako ansa na ọma kwa ware mu ana. So when we are talking about the big elephant in the marriage, that is a monetary matter, I will plead. I will plead because God has given you the command. Leave and go. So when you leave and you go, God has already blessed you already. In Proverbs 18:22, it is there. A man who ever have a wife finds favor from whom? From God. So when you get into marriage, our young men and young men coming up, don't depend on one person. When I'm counseling, I used to ask, are you financially sound before going into the marriage? That no take nationally. Don't you want papa? Go mami me a jeme. A boy at 12 papa now. Impa, open national school, in school fees. Oh, mommy, they have sacked my son to come and collect school fees. Abomination. Whenever you borrow money also to have a wedding, remember, the money that belongs to you. You will be in your house and they will come and knock at your door. Mami ofa ane maba mba beje bisika. And the sremu tene e kasika sem ewa aware mu no. When you married, you become a brand new person with a new responsibilities. Which now your old fantastics nyama o yeno ubejai. So the wadam who got na baby e go tatu be. What for pregonam answer wa be fear who says ask alone this year e bet me afia kwada no wo fie. Say the be ya asika sem enje de mamu. Me da mo ase.
So, okay, yeah.
Okay, thank you for the presentation. We are learning. My question has to do with the provisions in the house. Whose duty is to make sure the family has a house to live in?
A house?
Yes. Whose duty is to make sure if you are renting, rent is paid? Is it that now because of culture, education, we are saying the women should help? Who is to make sure the light bill is paid? Who is to make sure that the school fees is paid? If the woman is working, the man is also working, is it that the two of them has to pay the school fees, or the man is supposed to make sure the school fees is paid? That's my question.
Okay.
Mama Pacho, I am unashamedly a kept woman. I say it all the time. I'm not ashamed to say it. Now the thing is that what works for you is up to you. And you may be rent da. God willing, April will be 25 years since we married. I've never paid rent in my life. I have never paid school fees in my life because I am still married to I'm married to somebody who still has the old concept of what the head of a home does. Mobile phone ya ekuta me. Me fa me sika to bi da wo mi wiase mu ha. Etete pansam na se papa ye enwa me nya bi da. Da. There are certain things I've never done in my life. Because that is what my husband was raised to do. Ni papa chere ne say, "O ware oba, o hye no." Nti me nya bi da. Me top provisions ni me sika. Because o ware oba, o hye no. But at the same time, everybody knows that I have a good job. And you may be a honma only who I met me I in CCA. And which be a ma. Fun say BBSC. Oh, you need to put out a substantial sum. Met me aye. But me a mutina sitting notebook name crop watch check Canada. Me doing one mentiasie. Mentiasie. A brochure for our and a mode bagana hano. A brochure for no mutu me cheche. Groceries into one sona. And that is the reason why a lot of our cousins and compatriots travel abroad and they fight. Because what? Wo try mo bia no aduane asset table asi wo wo so a wo mpese wo yiska no. So how do you reconcile the two? On one hand, you want to do everything that you are the head of the home. You want them to set you table. What you do ma to me person or your dictation. Ye nwa dwane ni ko bi nkwan ma me. Wo so a wo yiska na say na dey na wo person wo ye ona onipa. Life is all about choices. If you call yourself the head of the home, Nya na ye ma homete okura ni say obi baba bejan if you ampa chow me show rent na me say me ne work na wotu adan ka 2 years ago no na wonim say ubetu rent afie we obi yire to me nyinsen aka na ansa ma ne yire awo doctor aka che so be no operation afi na one na mo so no so koka kire won say e na doctor say me yire be no operation ada o yire onyinsen 3 days ana so onyinsen bosome nkono. Those are the things. It's all a question of planning. Everybody says that the men have too much responsibility and all that. That is true. But if you are with a man that you are able to think and plan with, and yeding. But who you want to say when me check na me who say wakwa ya outside utility home crier. Any urban any better. Whose responsibility it is? It is the responsibility of the head of the home to steer the affairs of the home. Eti kwanya obefa so obeye ne nani ye twe paper ne pen ediche no. On the other hand, whatever money I'm given, I'm expected to account. Me fear ye receipt book ni ade nyina wo ho. Ye wo ni ankrofo ba no ye tuo mo car. If I give money to somebody and the person is not able to give me a receipt, I have printed honor certificate in my house that they sign and I give them copy, I keep copy. Me pacho se me bua wo de opa bisa chocho. It's true. Everything I sign, everything pepe, and I have a balance sheet account. Bibia da ne kwem. That's how it works. So please, this question, John, your question, the answer is in the question. The fact that you have to ask it should tell you that you know what the answer is. If you are the man in the home, lead. If you are the leader, lead. That's your job.
That's your job. So, Daddy, so please, concerning his question, what will you say? Because you are
okay. So a lot of time when I do premarital counseling, and people are going to marriage, and they are asking about rules, responsibility, and stuff like that. I have prepared a worksheet because of this for the conversation. And the worksheet, what I've done is, I help them identifying stuff down or will be taking place in the home. Then I ask the two of you, your mother and your father, what were they doing? What did you see them doing? So you take what your father and mother have been doing, then your home. Because what they were doing a good thing, you learn from them. What do you want to do at your home? Then the one that maybe mother was doing A, mother was doing B here. Then the two of us then negotiate and see what we can do to help our home. So it's not like the two of us are in competition in our home. No competition in the marital home. It's our home. We are a family. And again, when we know our role, and we are forced or we are pushed or triggered, whatever it is, to do what we're supposed to do, it makes us more honorable. In fact, if you take care of your own home and you get somewhere else, nobody tells you that you feel good about it. I hope you are getting it. But unfortunately, there are some men who will not do this. The marriage is not 50-50. Marriage has always been 100-100. Meaning whatever you have been assigned, you give full. So if it's your home, you are bringing a wife there, you are taking care of your home, you pay a rent and everything, you don't come and say that, oh, I'll bring 50%, go and look for 50%. Okay. If you don't have money and your spouse or wife is helping you with that, don't make it like it's become a new style role. Henceforth, I beg you. Okay. So let's do the right thing, then we will be peaceful at our home.
So now in the home, whose responsibility?
Both
of you or the man?
I think that the primary responsibility is for the man. That is why before you marry the woman, you pay the dowry. The father of your father-in-law was taking care of his daughter. So you are taking over the responsibility from your father-in-law. That is why when you come to the wedding, you hand over the man.
father.
Your father-in-law gives the man, the daughter to you.
Yeah.
Signifying you taking over my
them.
responsibility.
Yeah.
So, and even that is traditionally, biblically, Bible says that the woman is your helpmate. Or ama wo waswa wadeswa.
Okay.
But what we are saying is that now the circumstance is not the same. Things are changing. And so as the helpmate, where you need to help is where your attention is needed, where the man needs you.
Okay.
So the thing is that you are earning more than the man. Some women are earning more than their husbands. Yes, you are earning more than the man. He needs financial help. I mean, the two shall become one. So you two, your money, your money should come to play. So we are saying that don't make it a responsibility. It is a discussion that has to be agreed upon. But the primary responsibility, the financial head, is a man. The book of Timothy says it. If you cannot provide for your home, you cannot become a leader in the church.
Exactly.
And it's to the man.
Exactly.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mama,
Thank you.
and
Yeah.
Add something.
Yeah.
Is it what I was saying? We only have a trouble in a home when wherever you are copying from, there's a trouble.
Okay.
Maybe the father or the mother you are copying from, there was a trouble, there was no mother from there,
Okay.
and you were copying from you. So you didn't, the teacher was bad. So you ended up to be a bad student.
Yeah.
In the sense that in a marriage, when we are talking, it goes back to the first marriage, from Adam out to back to here. When the men these days are looking for a spouse, what they forget is, you who is looking for a spouse, what did you see in the woman? Did you see a helpmate, or you saw somebody who is coming to make home for you?
Okay.
You are coming to depend on a person. So some people choose professions. Is working here. I believe these people earn this kind of money. I do touch a lot in some churches, plenty churches, and sometimes you go to some churches. I caught I left from one of the charismatic churches, which I cannot mention the name. What I was so shocked is the young men, when they close from church, they sit at the top of the chapel, and they monitor the single guys who have ladies who have cars, who are not married. Then they approach them.
I see.
If marriage proposal, as if you are in your age, you are looking for marriage, I'm doing you a favor to get married to you. When it's supposed to be so.
Wow.
So we know the right thing. Probably we are just not doing the right thing. So as mommy says, the same thing here.
Okay. Okay.
Mama, today I was reading an article, and this young lady was saying that before their wedding, when they met, they were both not working. Eventually, she got a job first. Later, he got the job. So when they were planning the wedding, because at the time she seemed to be in a superior place, they contributed 50-50 to have the marriage. Now that they have married, they have continued the 50-50. The man has risen in his job, but still looking for 50-50. Because, so they share rent 50-50, school fees 50-50, food, cost, everything 50-50. And I'm thinking, are they sharing the cooking 50-50? Scrubbing 50-50, washing 50-50. I'm worried about these things because we have always, as a people, had a certain way of doing things. You know that the Bible says that a woman should respect her husband.
Yes, of course.
And the man should love his wife. It is not easy to respect. I'm not saying it's not possible. But it is not easy to respect a man who is sharing everything 50-50 with you, a man who cannot do anything, a man who is not pushing, working, all those things. And if you are not able to provide, you are not able to do anything, then every day you remember I am the man of the house. You can't. So in this world, you have to learn that you cannot eat your cake and have it. That's it. These are choices we have to make. So I'm not saying it's not good to marry a woman who is capable of making money, who is capable of helping, but like Mama said, my policy is that our mandate as women, ye biasi ye bebuamo, ya masi ye ba bejimu ejuma ye, nyankupo ankase ye mra mejimu ejuma nye, osi ye mra na ye mebuamo, said ye fata nese. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Any more questions? Okay. The lady in black and white.
Thank you. Okay, you touched on a story that I'm privy to have a knowledge about. A lady is not married. Let me put it this way, sorry. A friend of mine, she has a fiance. The guy is ready to marry the lady. But the parents are insisting that he has to take care of the younger siblings to a certain point in their life before she gets married. So it has become a tussle between the guy and the lady now.
The lady's parent?
Yes, the lady's parent. Because she's the firstborn and she has younger siblings. So she has to also, since they have taken care of her, she has to also continue the caring. So my question is, in this case, if the lady forces to get married, and now the lady's family gets overly dependent as in their existence rely on the lady's marriage, the money the family is what they will live in. How will you as a partner manage because it's the same money you'll be using to rent, to build, and the same money you are also dropping and giving it to the lady's family.
You know, this often happens actually with men. When somebody's about to get married, they might even call the person and say, your siblings are still there. So, obabe worry, it means you are going to avoid the responsibility of taking care of your younger siblings. It's a very dicey situation. They call it black tax. And it is something that happens with Africans and people of African descent. Nayana metai kan sembi. Wona ade ho no wawo ma. Wona ode ho na wotena ase na ase ma 8 na abewo. Wonim se obetumi ahwe wo ma 8 ni nti na wo ma 8. Enti emfa ma meye meme nsohwe because na apɛ na wo ma 8. E ma 6. But what I have also seen is that when they start this kind of way, now we starting now still uko warrior, uko awuhonto. Enye easy. I have seen it with men. When it started, there was an issue. There was somebody who said, the parents said that unsi dai maye now yesi uba be wedding. Asem no bemu na me ko report asem no ma so for penny bi. Na so for no frɛ abranti and parents. Eno chi omwenim. Chi omwenim pa sa denti na moye sa. Your son should not start life with fornication. Once he has started, he wants to get married, allow him to get married. Eno worry, mama. When they married, ena erabani be nyinsen. Na abranti na maame ba ye obeka kire ne se o. Owedro bi ebeboa na ma ne nyinsen na nyin ahoaye de. O man you know say o na girl na enya incompetent cervix. She couldn't carry a pregnancy to term. She lost so many. They didn't like it. Eye sempi asafumo onye asori bi. Eye Christopher asem na making. Yes, anytime he bought something for the wife, the mother will say, where is my own? Sir, as if they were in competition. And when it comes to these things, but on the other hand, your friend too, you cannot avoid the biology. It's something that we need to pay particular attention to, because the other side of it is that fertility is going down these days. Enti sabre ya yesu onhwe ni nuanu munwie. Se okodi 35 ansa na waware. Na nyame amfa fie na okoye te se me a me ware mfie nso ansa na me wo na. Sabre no obe ne den. So you need to speak to the parents. Ebe ya anka one page maybe money maamenye. Business be a obebo ni dweche. Say be a jisikei na fa ye adwuma we na ma me kwan na me nware. And that is also another reason why I usually encourage. Ebe ye anka mo ware a ebetimi a mo nkọ baabi foforo. Mo nkọ baabi foforo. Mo ntu bata. Se obe ware na upa me fa afikyire he ya no aduru baabi awo no emwa. Mo nkọ ichirichiri baabi. Muntu kotena kuro foforo so. Ebeboa.
Ebeboa. Daddy want to say something.
Oh, Bobby has said, as if you are in my mind. As if you are in my mind. I was going to say that even God, who created us, has not said every morning when we wake up, we should open our mouth and collect manna. Mm-hmm. He created land. He gave us skills, talent. We know what to do to earn living. He has made a provision. So don't become that kind of person that I want to raise everyone in my family so that they'll be depending on me. If it's money that I've gotten from my first pay, and I can give this amount of money for you to start some businesses that can help you people to speak up, I'll do that for you and then move on. But to come and pick this responsibility that you are not becoming the mother or the father, now you are not raising your siblings, you don't finish, what do you mean? Like you will not finish raising people. Because you finish this, another something comes in and they'll call you. And when you don't do one, nobody remember all the good year you have been doing.
Yes.
That's why you become a bad person. So for me, if you have a help that I can give a help, this is what I can do help with you. And please, as much as I honor you, I love you, I care so much about you. There's something I don't want us to talk about, that you saying that if I can't take care of my sibling, I can't get married. Please, we should not get to that place. This is what I can help me. If you want something good for me in terms of marriage, pray for me in that regard. And you marry don't marry and stay in the same environment. Sometimes you the man, you want to be in a family house.
Yes.
Just because of rent.
Oh.
That I have a house there already. Then you bring all the trouble there.
Yeah.
No, move. And be somewhere else. Not everything that happened that you call the family and you are this, and this is happening, we have earned this, we have bought this, and so and so. And then, unnecessary invitation, you are asking for visitation. And then when they come, they are coming with different mindset altogether. It's because of this person you have changed. Mm-hmm. So they come to confirm that suspicion, that kind of mindset. It does not help.
Okay.
So we know our people very well. So before we leave them, because we live before we cleave.
Yeah.
Let's live very well. So that we can cleave very well. All right.
Yeah. Let's live very well so that we can cleave very well. Ah, that is good.
Connect the tagging of the younger siblings to the marriage. Why the mother will be, but what it is that, like Mommy said, it is a red flag for the man, because if you are going into marriage where your mother-in-law is already bringing out responsibilities, then it is a red flag. Yeah. But on the other hand, the lady should also know that I have younger siblings, and that is her prerogative. Yeah. That one is for her to decide. But we should not go into, most times, we enter into marriage, especially a man, then we completely ignore our families. You worry, even your old friends. If your mother, until issues begin to break out, then you realize that we are not saying that men worry, worry. No, we are saying worry. Now we are saying that Bible didn't say it's the woman that is living. No. This is a teaching I believe Osofo has done with you already. Bible said the man is living to cleave to you. There was a reason. Women have the tendency of completely mawari. So Bible said the man should leave. You, the woman, you are still connected. You are connected. I'm out of my if I want to go into this one. So the woman should also remember that what the mother-in-law is saying may be far-fetched, but don't go completely and forget about your family. You are not living. It's the man that is living. You are still have connection with your family. When it is for a reason. The men are here. I won't say it. When is women's seminar, I'll come and tell you.
Something worked for us, which I think, what worked for us when we first married was that whatever we did for both.
Okay.
Whatever we did for both. In fact, time mami wu 5 years or so into our marriage, one of the things grandma always used to weep about, and he said, if you are meant to man of me to me pam, me to me fra. Because na me turn to ma, me turn a poor na mache. So my mom and my mother-in-law had exactly the same clothes. It started from when we were getting married. After they be a mobile be wedding. Obe who say, Obe man, especially we married when we were really young, and Eric had just completed university, finished national service. When you nice job, so there would obviously be issues and worry about Oba penny PSC Bema nani kuma oho. So my mom advised me, say, starting from the wedding, fabric na meton into be mama. So we bought the exact same fabric and shared for Saturday and Sunday. No be akopam ne die. And after that, every time Christmas, me turn to myself me de koma me maamia. Me taught the same thing mama say. Tibi ombeko baby no. No mu nyina fra adekro. Say provisions na ye to a. Me to milk tray na ma chene 12. Milo me to 4 ma chene 2. Enti say ye kodru obaku fie a, whichever box you pick up and enter the house is identical to the other one, because edidi jawo hwe eni muna enenam me ya na minim brofo no mo fa nche me. But you understand what I mean? So whatever I did the exact same thing for my parents-in-law. My husband also did the exact same thing for my parents until my parents died. But my parents died far early on in the marriage. But after that, I noticed, he was doing it for my aunties.
Wow.
He was doing the exact same thing he would have done for my mom, for my aunties. Doing the exact same thing he would have done for my dad, for Nanaya's father.
Wow.
Exact same thing. Entina enyesano mi hune se osisime. Se eyana se otua school fees man nuanoma. Na me wa cousins biso a akodi baby a ahokyere wo ho. He took care of them. So that is how we work it. It is a question of balance. It is a question of need. Abrantie ya obe ware ababawa. Ono oni nuanom wo ho. Ano wobi wo ho. You need to be fair in all things and justice. And just in all things. That's how I think it would help.
Yeah.
But ebe ya on ware kitwe bi minimum fast. No tun kwatene chiri baby a ye besra na ye bra ansa na ye duro.
Ye be fa plane na de akọ. E da masi bebre. Okay. And ye fa daddy a ye mfa biem because emre no eko. Oh, yes, I think, yeah.
I will say thank you to our speakers, but I want to be emphatic on one thing. In our culture, no woman goes to marry. It is the man who lives to go to marry. So let us kill the idea that my boyfriend now worry me. It is not in our culture. It is not in the Bible. So let us kill that idea from now. It becomes a blessing when the woman earns more than the man and we want to help the home, not the man, the home. So we should also put this at the back of our mind. All responsibility in the marriage depends on the man, not on the woman. The woman comes to help the man to manage the home. And like Auntie Efia said, once you have extra, look at both sides, support both sides. But it's never mandatory for a woman to take charge of the home. It is the responsibility of the man. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So, on this note, others, on this note, I will ask our panelists to give us their final words. That is, this Christmas, the message you have for us as we celebrate Christmas. What message you have for us? The younger ones, the older, all of us, yeah, as Christians. What message you have for us this Christmas? Mama Che. Message Ben was in my Christmas. Yanisika some ebusia yebopoya and I am poyendi wofie and I then what message you have for us?
Message in here simple message in there. Show was sitting him. My life is not cut and paste. I see Auntie Efia and her children cruising in the latest Land Cruiser. So I can't go to church this Christmas because I don't have a car. No. Know your situation and make life easier for yourself. Even now, COVID has come. Now there's a new wave. Put on your nose mask, no makeup, in the name of COVID.
No makeup. That was
What do I do? Should that stop me from going to church? No. If you want to also do it and you have it, do it. In your home. In fact, even if it's Gary, eat it with style. Eat it with style. And know that all the fingers are not equal. And know that it is like driving in a traffic light. Somebody's green light is on. Today is your red light. Tomorrow your light will turn green. So it is not about race. And also, the expenditure of the person, the source of the income, you have no idea. Last month we talked about LGBTQIZ. Maybe the person is in Pampas. You don't know. Sickness has taken over because the source of the money is coming from a place where he cannot disclose, but he's suffering somewhere. But up there, show to the outer world that he is okay, he's worthy. So what we are saying is that enjoy your Christmas in style with the little you have and be joyful. The whole thing about is making yourself happy about Christmas. Now you don't even use COVID as an example. COVID intimate me and mess around. And enjoy yourself. Don't overburden yourself. Look your own self first. Otherwise, if you don't make yourself happy, you cannot make the next person happy. Take care of yourself and be happy. Then you can look at somebody else. So what we are saying in this Christmas is that no stress. Life is too stressful. Make life easy for yourself. And happy yourself all the way through. Merry Christmas to you.
Thank you. Sir.
All right. So I'm coming to the message. I want to clear something.
Okay.
When I was talking about live and cleave, please, I wasn't talking about women living. Because maybe example, I was speaking from what a man was doing, that lots of men are the people who have a responsibility that they take care of this, take care of that.
Yeah.
I wasn't talking in terms that the women should live and cleave. I want just to clear that aspect. And again, when we even leave, the good book says that we should honor our father and our mother.
Exactly.
That's a responsibility. So if monthly you have something that you have to remittantly send to them, it is something you do out of a good heart.
Yeah.
And it helps you in our own work of faith.
Yeah.
Coming back to our Christmas message.
Yeah.
God has been so good to us. God has been faithful to us. And lots of people will start the year with, and I know with us now. We need to live life to the fullest, not to the least that you are alive, you are doing well, but you are bitter. You are not happy. You are sad. You are angry. There's something inside you is not right. Because we see a lot of people, they bath well, they take care of their hair, everything, but inside here, there's trouble. And that is affecting relationship, marriages, and so on and so forth. So my first point of view is, before the year comes to an end, anyone who has hurt you, who has done something, that you think that you've been holding on that for a long time, the good book says something that we should be peacemakers, not peacekeepers. Make peace, don't keep peace. Keeping peace is like, I won't say anything. When I say this, I'm a bad person. Please say it by saying a way that the person know how you have been offended, so that we can clear that. Don't start the new year with that kind of attitude. It does not help you. That is one. The second aspect is try as much as possible to forgive people, your own spouse. You are married, you who are married, who say, I won't forgive you for this one thing. And it's not helping you, your own life, as much as even your family. So let's learn as much as possible to forgive. Lastly, the word love is not about feelings. As a Christian, love is not about feelings. So if you believe in love, 1 Corinthians chapter 13, verse 4 to 7, it gives us a clear message. Specific what is made up of love. Love is patient, love is kind, love is not boast, it's not rude. What I want you to do is, if you are going to tell somebody, I love you, you are telling the person all this. I'll be patient with you. I will be kind with you. I will not keep records of wrong and so on and so forth. So ask yourself, your spouse, those you claim you love, what is the relationship? And if you examine yourself through this Bible verse or this scripture, and you find yourself there are some things you need to work at it before you start a new year. Let's start a new year healthily. Our mind, our spirit, and our body, so that things work well for us. I wish you Merry Christmas and Happy New Year in advance.
Thank you. Mama Efia.
Fortunately for us here in RPKD, Christmas ni ayen hye ni nyina amaye. Die di kan yesi bro nyada ye kra ye maha na ye sori anopa. Eye simple kra. Bomodin sori anopa die bi a wonte ni na wo ye pancake bi. Na wo ye tea bi, wo chi sausage bi, wo ye French toast bi, wo dan ho kakra bia. Why your breakfast a real no? Mudidi we na fe muti hwa mutonko a bronya na betwam sisi asa. Mti bronya we atade to bi enim. In fact, for more than 10 years I've not bought Christmas clothes for my daughters before. Wow. Minye bi da. De kire se munne atade kom nya fe na beto bronya atade ama more traffic. There's too much traffic in town for me to go to town even. Nyame ya adom 26 na ye Sunday no anka bro nyamo de bed dress no nyame adom ya ma prescribed jeans white top eno ne ye de ba asori o ye free wa asori no aduane ama afie wa woni akokọ obeye. Don't worry yourself. Asori asese ye kan se ba asori one a ye pon a jeans white top we na obi si oni bi jeans white top ni ekọ baby omde ekọ no ni akọtena oni edi bronya na de asa yapon enti bronya we de me ni how me de mani nyina to Dagadu so no problem. No, seriously, I don't even see why anybody will go to extra expense when the church has taken care of everything. If he says the midi can meaning about those of you in private sectors. But those of us in public service, and then the 10th. Acha 18th ni etuaka yetua ye kewia January pay ni beba 27th enti mo be sha December to January no date no calendar no 32 34 38 40 50 days nyina na da so try ma bosom ya so adan ne ye ha ye ho. Let's do what we can. I've always said obu ohon mo se Christmas opeso opie any ade media me pese me pie me de mani nyina to asori so aha no me di bronya aha no me ye bibia ye wi a na ewra fasting no nyesa ye de fasting na ewra afefufuro no ti ye di bronya ni wi asa week no ye de fasting atum fasting u de den na breaki kokokokokoko u breaki wi a 31st ya bompa ye kitikiti first ya bompa ya no ade e be chi no kra first no be da wani beti no abo 11 uwo fufuo di ya abo 4 ye di awie. So let's not worry ourselves. Let's do what we can. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Mama nyina fish abanya fa na afi o afi
ya neighbor ni now. Oh, yeah, the radio say it's been so wonderful. Dame kan say ampa ya kan nyina. E wo say wa nipa na ho no, wo ma weni je wo ho. Akokọ na obenya wedi. Sebi ko bia bibia ubenye bia no wo ye party anisa me say me de bia me ni age me ho enye se sebi a de bi na emom no me ni nyame amesom no na me ni me ame ho ti me anso me ma me neje bibia menye bia me ni so de bia ye me nya ma me nua jollof pe me say ye party ye party chicken ka ho minya cabbage bi twitwa bi gusu twitwi bi a ye wie ne sa meni obia ni asem hallelujah enti no Christmas yi die sa wo wadagado wo ni dagado baby a wo no make sure say obema wani age ebi se nyame aye bi ama nyame abọ ho ban ahwe so ama Christmas yi a ene anopai obi endi Christmas okọ na me ne wo de ye da so te nkwamu na se bro nyen abeto ye de a na che se ewrade aye binti ma bibia radio so nyum ma wani nje TV so nyum bia ebe ye bia ma wani nje na hu se wedi bro nya no enti na ye ka ne se ye wish mu nyina Merry Christmas and happy and prosperous new year na afia ebesim no ebe ye brutal hallelujah. The best is a new baya kama. Dia and one sankaye no and catchre. Ye traffic mu January now a shawonsa hallelujah. And my winning bibia baya kama, bibia baya fine. Ye the munina say must spend it time a betina. Na sida kese ne dear ye. Ye de ma ye papa me say. And I am my first time one. Chese me wono ne dinu na me wono hu baye na na papa ka say bibi say e na ye wa sorry ha ntinu eya na wa baboa ye oh wan wusu ni ntima mafia wan kahwe o hye no eyi ase wa ha ye afia de mo eya o ka ya mse o ka cheze week ye mo ze last week mo oh na papa waba na obantem so ebetina ha o ya bobo nkoma kakra anko papa ya dasi why your friend no Mr. Frank Edem Adofoli sa wonim papa ya ono de o baby a social media baby a ho anowo wo pe counselor papa pa owo ho bibi a kire wa adwin bia wo huna oba chireche bibie mu oba boa e ma bibia aye kwense wa adwim nyina no oba chireche wase ma bibia aye kama e da wase bebre woni webusu e da mwase bebre se mu ekita mame ena ye mie ye ya we de ya ho ena ebro nyani ana ye di ya mame Justice Efia Saribotwe se mu amunim no chese wa ya de ye starting programming na ayese osi ye beye ampanso bribiara ye beto nse be frem bia ehram no gina ha say oh maasi papa bi oya maasi o we wouldn't macachro. Yes, we that's a pa. A senior mean shroud, baby. Bronya yedi, ye be deeper. Hallelujah. Sarah, my yes sister, mammy Achre, Pepe, Achre Manism, Achre Hadassa. And the wasi baby. Yes, your program, yasi. Yes, your program, yasi. Yanyuara, Nanuha, Nabibia, and Pupu would see that. Bring it, don't be a bephobia. Never ha. Yes, I see. Oh, I had commenter or a banner, didn't share there. Oh, a foot I had yam mawahano. Kwafufa pie, yet there was a baby there. Eja won't bring you na, or to the be traffic in Akem, and what chin and the menina, if when you go to Nebaka, PK do where there was. Yamin shall be brave, Brunye, ye bedi, ye bedi nipa, Yamin show. I wish you one Merry Christmas and a prosperous New Year. Thank you so much for, coming. And so, Yabani sana na endeju median ye. Na your bumper say next year, January, the new one beba. Full frock crown near the baba. Na and some no bear the dead. And I must say, so we draw the curtains down. We'll meet next year. Bye bye.